Hello, I'm Simon. Welcome to my workshop. And in this video we're going to be talking about this object. Now you might be wondering what this object is, and I'll tell you later in the video, but this object is the catalyst for this video. So let me try and explain. So I had a job. I needed to box in the extraction hose on my cooker hood in my kitchen. Now a year ago, when I started this channel, I would have built a bog standard square box and used that and been very happy with it. It would have used butt joints, possibly half lap type joints in its construction. And I was thinking about this particular job, thinking how I would build this box, and I thought, well, it would be very nice if it had a curve on the top. Now a year ago I wouldn't have had the confidence to build a box with a curved front. So this is why this is such a significant piece for me. It's the first time that I've looked at something that I needed to make and really thought about the aesthetics of it and thought about my level of skill and could I make it. And it's the first time I felt confident that I could actually make something as complex as this. Now this isn't particularly difficult to make, and I'll go for a little bit of its construction. I don't have a video of me building it, but I feel that this box really represents how far I've come in a year of woodworking. A year ago I wouldn't have attempted this box. The fact that I now have the confidence to try and build something like this is the result of spending 2 days a week for a year in my workshop. Now I still think I've got a long way to go to become a master craftsman. I still think of myself as a DIYer, but I feel like I'm now starting to get somewhere with my woodwork, and that projects that were perhaps beyond my skill level are now within reach. And this is really what this box represents. It represents an idea that I had for how to box in some pipes that I wouldn't have attempted a year ago, but I did attempt this week. It turned out well, and I think I've got a nice result. Let's have a quick look at the process I went into making this box. I don't have a video on making it because it was never meant to be a project for my channel. However, after I made it, I realised that this was quite a significant object in my woodworking career. So I started with a piece of 3mm ply and experimented on my bandsaw how deep I needed to make cuts in order to bend it around a curve without it breaking. It turned out the cut needed to be about 2.5mm deep, so there's only 0.5 millimetre of ply on the top here to get this nice surface. But by sticking this ply onto another piece of board and running it multiple times through my table saw, I was able to create all these grooves which allowed me to bend the piece of ply. The curved sides, which are just made out of chipboard, I made on my restored bandsaw. That was quite easy, but over the year I've done quite a lot on the bandsaw, and I've become more and more confident of what I can do and how accurate I can cut. So I cut these curves by hand, just following the line on my bandsaw. Because this has got grooves on the top, I didn't want the grooves showing on the side, so I couldn't just plonk this top onto the top of this curve. I needed to add a small rebate into it. and I did this using my router table, which I've got a video on if you want to watch it. And then once it was all glued up, I added a couple of supports across the top just to sort of hold it all in place, and then used a trim bit in my router table just to trim the edge so that I got a perfect finish. It was then just a matter of a small amount of sanding to finish the box. So you can see it's not a particularly complicated box, but it's not something that I could have done a year ago, and that's why this object to me is quite an important object, and I think it represents a pivot point, I guess, in my woodworking hobby, where I'm starting to think more about the wood, the shape of it, and what I can do with wood. And that's why this is an important object to me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's a bit of an experiment. Please let me know your thoughts on this style of video, and if you've enjoyed it, please leave a thumbs up, and if you love it, then please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.